Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Double D's live podcast with myself and Muir. I should actually let you do your own. I'm Muir. Should like.
I'm okay with that, sir. I'm just very proud of us. This is 2 weeks in a row. I think we're doing really well.
I know, and we almost missed it, but we hung on in there for this evening. How are you?
I am good. Absolutely flat to the boards, as per usual, to be perfectly honest. But I'm good. It's good. It's good flat to the boards. But
With what? Tell us.
crazy madness. The reason that and this 100% this week, lads, it is my fault. So at this stage, you're all sick of me talking about the rugby club and being president in the rugby club and all that jazz. But this week is absolutely colossal. So for the first time since 2002, we've made the Provincial Towns Cup final. Which is on Sunday, and our ladies team are in their cup final on Saturday. So it's just crazy. It's mental. It's bedlam, the best type of bedlam in the world, but it's bedlam. And then I was laughing. Shane rang me today, and he was like, "Now I want you to get your head in the game now, Moira. I need you to focus on this." And I was like, "Tuesday." Tuesday, I'm a focus, Shane. I can
Let's be
all
very
the focus in the world, but leave me alone till Tuesday.
Oh
I've spent
God.
hours. We've put up banners all over the town. We've put up banners all over the club. We have
I was
when
just
we
gonna
talk
ask,
about,
what does it entail? Like, what does, and for someone who hasn't
so
a notion
Carlo
about
has a
rugby in
really,
general,
really
and also
renowned
the
history.
organisation behind it.
Well, it's mad because say when I started going out with Porrick first, right? And we were from two rival rugby clubs, like Romeo and Juliet. So I grew up in Tullow. Porrick obviously grew up in Carlow. They'd be like the local rivals. So for the last 2 years in a row, Tullow have won the Towns Cup. But Carlow have, now I stand to be corrected on this, and I apologise if I get it wrong, but I think the Carlow have one of the most winning Towns Cups. But the last time we won it was in 96, 97, and we haven't gotten into a final since 2002. So, when Paul talks about rugby and all of his rugby career and all of the amazing people he got to play with and get to know through rugby, his Towns Cups are his thing. This
Okay.
is it. This is where you want to be. It
Right.
doesn't matter what league you're in, it doesn't matter how many other, you want to win a Towns Cup. This is what you're going to be remembered for. So every year it's been kind of building and building. Last year we got to the semi-final, and then Tullow beat us in the semi-final, and which was gut-wrenching, I'm not going to lie. And then this year in the semi-final we played Wicklow, and it came down literally to the last kick of the match. And when I say I have not, I did not enjoy 1 second of that match. I was
Oh,
on the way home and I was like, my hands are sore. My hands were sore because Murrin, like an idiot, spent the entire match like this, the whole match. So my
oh
fingers
God.
were actually sore.
Yeah.
So all week, well, for the past 3 weeks, basically, it's been engaging sponsors, trying to organise the getting up for the pre-match lunches, the sponsors' buses, the supporters' buses. We the Carlow Rugby Club is black and amber, so I spent most of Monday. I don't think there is a Kilkenny banner left in a €2 shop in Kilkenny, being really honest about it. I
Please do.
fleeced them out of it. Great crack now, I have to say. But yeah, so we've just been preparing the club, getting ready, organising. It looks a little bit different for us because the players, obviously they're getting the bus up early. The match doesn't start until 3 o'clock, but we have to be up there at 1 o'clock for the pre-match lunch. But it's lovely because I get to bring Porrick and Fionny, and they're involved in it. And yeah, it's kind of, I don't know if it fully dawned on me that, and I'm so hesitant to use it, but this is historical. I have been talking for the last 3 years so basically since I was asked to become president, I've been saying to the lads, I don't care what you do, just win me a Towns Cup. I don't care. I just love you to win me a Towns Cup. I'll forgive you for anything else other than that. Just please give it your best shot. Like, but it's funny because as much as I obviously would love to see them win it, and I would absolutely wholeheartedly love to see them win it, they're playing a tie, and they're two really local clubs, and like we were in a tie at the weekend. They're J3s, a tie. J3s beat Carlo J3s, and like they haven't been in final since 1984, and like they're so excited, and the club is so excited, and like if anybody else was playing a tie, I would love them to win. But now I
I
just
know,
cannot.
you're conflicted.
Like I just like. But I'm just so proud of the lads. They've worked so hard, and like our women's team, we didn't have a women's team up until this year. We
Yeah.
lost our women's team a couple of years ago. So there's people in the club have done unmerciful work, and we've combined with Tullow, and we have an under 14, 16s and 18s. We call them the Rhinos. So they're a combined Tullow Carlow team. And then this year we were lucky enough to, well, actually, no, fuck it. We're going to call it a spade. We worked damn fecking hard. And I'm not going to say we were lucky because we weren't. We worked really, really hard. And we got a women's team back going. So they have won, they were in Division 6 and they won their Division 6 final. So they won that. And the cup was filled many times. We had great crack. And now they're in their final on Saturday. So, yeah, there's a lot going on. But
That
it's good.
is a lot going on, and it's
Yeah.
exciting.
It is. It is. I'm very excited. And come here now that I've bored you all about rugby. What's crack with you this week? What have you been up to?
We obviously it was Easter, and I am not one of these people that I don't. It's probably probably should be now that I'm a mum, but that like get proper into like.
Oh, did you do an
Do
Easter
you know what I
egg
mean?
hunt?
I don't go to town on Halloween. I don't go to town on Easter. We went to a kind of it's Red Mountain Farm. It's like a petting zoo basically, but it's playgrounds and indoor and outdoor stuff as well. So
That's lovely.
got to spend the morning there with the girls, and then we had a confirmation party to go to in the afternoon, and then Paige went for her first sleepover in Nana and Granddad's. Tried
How did
before
that
a few weeks ago. Yeah, we tried before a few weeks ago when the cousins were over. But at about 10:30, 10:20, there was no sign of her going to sleep, and Dad just said to her, "Do you want to go home to your own bed?" And she was like, "Yeah." And so threw her in the car, and she was asleep in no time, and I just popped her up into bed then when she arrived back. So I didn't know if she was going to stay this week either, but she did eventually. But it was so funny because Reese, my nephew, who's about 6 months younger than she is, was up in the bed beside her, and he was calling down to his brother, going, "Dylan, she won't let me sleep. She keeps talking to me." So she is like an ultimate chatterbox. She eventually fell asleep, but so that was good. But she was absolutely wrecked. Like Mer, when I say to you on Monday, she fell asleep on the couch at 5 o'clock. And it never ever happened. And I
Yeah.
woke her and I tried to like even get her dressed for bed and give her a supper or whatever. And I did just about, but she wasn't really having any of it. Like she was in bed asleep for the night at 10 to 6.
Wow.
Yeah. I was like, what? I was like, is she okay? But she was just
Yeah.
wrecked.
She was just shattered,
Absolutely
like.
just wrecked. So that was a lovely kind of a weekend. And then don't know. I've just been doing. Oh wait, I was teaching as well on. I think it was Monday. I went teaching, and I was building my AI twin when I got back. I've been trying to get a chance to do it, and it asks some thought-provoking questions, to say the least.
Oh yeah, I told
Having
you.
to be
I said to you,
self-reflective.
it goes deep. It goes.
It does go deep. So for anyone who doesn't know, Shane has built this system and this engine that you can do with ChatGPT, and it creates your AI twin. So it asks you a bunch of questions. You have to answer it honestly. This is all done by a voice, which is important because you tend to say more than you would write.
Yeah.
so it gives a kind of a more authentic answer. So it's really, really interesting and thought provoking, like, because it really tries to figure out who you are and be able to kind of replicate you. Now, to say that we've had some teething problems since is yeah, I'll have to spend another. But I actually had it done in about 45 minutes, which was brilliant. Like, I was actually
That's very good.
surprised at how kind of streamlined it was. It was super, and just gives an idea into the way things are working going forward. So if I can just streamline it a bit and get it functional, I'm going to say functional because it's like, or operationally kind of thinking. It's not actually the content; it's the operation behind it. But
Yeah.
if I can get that done, I think I'll have a bunch of fun with it. You've been using yours, haven't you?
I have been using mine and it is actually hilarious.
Is
Like,
it?
oh, Sarah, it's so funny. Like, it is definitely my biggest hype girl. Like, it keeps calling me, oh, you're on fire, and let's go get this girl. Like, yeah.
I think I have my ChatGPT program to speak to me in a real sympathetic, understanding way.
Oh, like it actually. What did I rang Shane today because it said something and it was like, it wasn't bless your cotton socks, but it was oh bless my clutter brain. I was like, no,
Oh my god.
like, I don't need two words. I need a focus word, not the clutter brain word. Don't do it to me.
It has
Oh,
done its
Jesus,
job.
like,
I love it.
but like
Love it.
it had. So I was. What was I doing? I was doing a press release for something today. For announcing for the LA Olympics. And it had in the middle. So usually, like I have my chat written for my press releases. So I usually write them all through that. But because I was in my twin, I was like, oh, this will be interesting. Like, I'll see what
Yeah.
kind of a tone or what kind of a spin it puts on it. But it had in the middle of it, bless their cotton socks. They had to change venues. I was like, no, this is not like, don't do it. Don't do it to me.
Be my twin, but be
Yeah, but be a
know
more
yourself.
efficient twin.
Oh,
It
that's
is
so
very cool, though, I have to say.
it is. It's very, very exciting. All the stuff kind of happening behind the scenes, and it's just, especially when you start being able to use some of the stuff and implement it.
Oh,
And saying that, it's overwhelming at the same time because I'm like, sorry, now let me go back.
it's a bit mad.
It-
So, was it last night? What? Last night or the night before? No, it was last night. I couldn't sleep. And I had all these article ideas in my head. So I was like, right, okay, I don't want to write these articles now, but I just want to document them so I can go back to them. But like I put them into my twin. I obviously must have fallen asleep with the phone in my hand. And when I woke up, it had 3 of my articles written. And I was going,
Stop.
oh, that's mad. Like, I don't
Good for
know.
you.
Like, obviously
Good
AI
for
is
him.
oh no, like they were not me. They were not what I would publish.
Right. Okay.
They were
Okay.
the
Okay.
start of it, and there was
Yes.
bits, there was nuances in it that I take and that I'd use, but they weren't like oh, they were real fluffy, and it
Yeah.
was just not me at all. But it was just a bit mad because there was a post came up on Instagram today, and it was AI will not take your job. The person using AI correctly will. It's
Mhm.
like that
Yeah.
right there.
It
Like,
is. It is. And I also came across, somebody said something on a podcast today that 75% of businesses and people within them are using ChatGPT or AI to help. Like, I mean, it's the way forward, isn't it? Like, and
it's the
Shane wrote
future.
an article there about it, like saying that
Yeah.
where we stand on Equitas with it, like, do you know what I mean? I think it kind of
Yeah.
really summed it up, and it was important for people to see the why behind what we're doing. And yeah, but before we go getting onto your article, because I do want to come back to your
Yeah.
article, I suggested this as being one of the topics for today. I hope you don't mind.
Yeah.
But I also want to tell you about Bip.
Well, that video of her following John across the
Oh,
field.
seriously, oh,
Oh,
come here. It was so funny because he came back in and he was like, did you see that one follow me across? And he's going across with the chainsaw. He's going to cut like wood. Do you know what I mean? And of course, she stayed with him the whole time. And like, he had to like watch out for
oh,
her. So it was like having one of the kids there. But she trotted off after him anyway, and I just thought it was so cute and so funny.
Oh.
Like, so I took a video, but then he came back and he was like, "Did you see her running after me?" And I was like, "No, I must have missed it." So then he went on Instagram later on, or his Facebook, and obviously mine cross post over to Instagram, and he was like, "Thought you said you didn't see that earlier." I was like, "We did."
I know that was way too cute not to get a video of.
But the
Oh,
funniest thing was on Saturday he went into the local farm supplies to get lamb nuts for her, right? He went in, and of course the shop was full. And you know Zoe, she works in Sean McEntee, so that's my local. So Zoe says to him, "Oh, is this for Bip? Oh, per Bip." And John is like, "What?" He was like, "Yeah, it's for Bip." He was like, "So what the hell?" He was like, "How does that happen? How does that happen?" I was like, "Well, Zoe follows me." So I said, she obviously just paid attention to the name. But I was like, well, she remembered the name. They're just going, "Oh, is this for your little lamb?" Like, to me,
Oh, that is actually brilliant. And you know,
so
I was even talking about Bib today. We were out for a hack, myself and Claire, and we were obviously lambs everywhere. And I was like, no, they're not as cute as Bib. Wait till you see this.
when they aren't. Like, John says to me, I missed it, right? Because John says to me today, he had the back doors open. She came running in the back doors, jumped up on the poof, jumped up on the couch, jumped up on the back of the couch, and jumped off the back of the couch, and then just stood. He was like, "What the hell is after happening?" He was like, and the girls were there laughing at her. But like, she's just, and you know the way like when spring lambs get out into the field or whatever, they're just running and buck leaping. You could watch them all day. That's what she did on our living room furniture.
Oh, I love it. Oh,
but she's so cute. She's so cute. I thought I lost her today because I went out to the field. Well, one of the sheep had laid down and she couldn't get back up again. And I was like, "What's going on with her?" And I was hoping that by the time I got to her, she was going to just jump up. And she did. Yeah. But I knew Bip was behind me. And then all of a sudden I turned because the sheep ran and kind of like ran towards one of the trees and they all kind of congregated. So did Bip. And I couldn't pick her out of the rest of the lambs straight away. And I was like, "Oh, she'll come back." And then the next thing, then I went into the couch and lay down for a bit. Mum had the girls. And I went back out and I was like, "Babe, where are you?" And she didn't come. And I was like, "Oh my God, is she okay? Like, do you know what I mean? Did she get stuck somewhere?" So I went and went looking for her, whatever, couldn't find her. I said, "She has to be over there with the rest of them." And then when John came home, then he called her and away she comes over the field. I was like, "Would you be well? Would you be well?"
I see that melt me now. Oh God.
So she had obviously gone over, and in the hullabaloo that this sheep made, they didn't notice her joining the flock. So she just went along with the rest of the little ones and just joined in. And then I was like, "Oh my God." Because then when she came back and got fed and then she went back out again, I was like, because she can get through our fence. Yeah. I was like, "Oh, what's she going to do now?" Because they all started to kind of run again. And I was like, "What's she going to do now?" Like, they're all running for their mummies and their mummies are looking for them. I was like, and she's going to be left on her own. I was like, oh. So I was like, "Come back, Bip, come back."
Yeah.
And she does, in fairness, she just runs across. She's so cute.
Oh, that's so cute. Oh God, yeah. That's so cute.
It really is. But it was funny because when we went to that place on Sunday, and there was pet lambs and goats and there was all sorts of kind of animals, whatever. But John was like, "I wonder how many kids there have a pet lamb at home." Do you know what I mean? Or come from like a yard of horses and have that exposure. Do you know what I mean? And I was like, "Yeah, it's interesting." I was like, technically you probably didn't have to go to those places. You could just buy. But it's lovely. It's lovely to get the girls out. And we were blessed with the weather. But yeah. Interesting. And very, very cute. Let's chat about your article. Now, I want to preface this because Muir sent it in as a draft to the group and saying, "Can I get someone's eyes on this? This is a bit different. This is not like me. This is slightly different angle." And I just absolutely loved it from the get-go. Absolutely loved it. So Muir, tell people a little bit about it and leave out the modesty, please.
Right. So obviously Rebecca Curtis won the Grand National.
Whoop, whoop.
Yep. Unbelievable stuff. And like, every article that I read and everything that was coming up, it was, isn't it amazing? She's a female trainer. Isn't it great for a woman? Isn't it wonderful? And I was getting really, really angry and really pissed off. I was like, why is this always the angle that media go for? Why is it always, oh, isn't she a lovely little woman over there doing her job? And I was getting so frustrated. And I must have rewritten that article. Like genuinely, if we if we had published the first version of that article, we would probably be being sued. Like
You wouldn't have got through the screening process.
no, 100% not. There was no coming back from that. But it was, I really wanted to convey, like she did, and it's not even a gender thing, right? If somebody is an excellent trainer, regardless if it's racehorses, polo, eventing, dressage, it doesn't make a difference if they're male or female. So why does it always have to be called out when they're female? Why does it always have to be, well done, this is a female trainer?
Yeah.
She is doing, and it was just, it was going round and round and round in my head. So I woke up about 3 o'clock in the morning and went, fuck this. Said, right, did a Tom on it, gonna sleep on this now. But wrote the article, obviously sent it to you, and got the go ahead and published it. I don't think I have ever gotten as much feedback on an article as I have gotten from this one ever. Like in anything I have ever written. And I was standing lunging a horse in the arena this morning, and I was thinking about it, and there was messages coming in, and some of them were disagreeing and some of them were agreeing, which I actually quite like. I like the both sides of the conversation. I like to see where it's going to go. I like opening up these conversations. And I said, I wonder, has Rebecca Curtis actually seen this? So I said, right, feck it, and I'll send it to her. Like, if I had an article written about me, I'd like to know. So I sent it, and I got I put the message into our group. I got the loveliest message back. I cried. I was like, oh my God. Like, not only has she read this, but like, she actually likes it. This is, I like this feeling. This is good. I can live off of this one for a little while. This is lovely. But I also love the conversation that she started, because again, it wasn't your stereotypical, she won the Grand National, she's wonderful, now let's move on to the next one and the next one and the next one. I'd love to see conversations building from it. And like, yes, some of the comments that have gone up, I don't necessarily agree with them all. And that's 100% okay. I don't have to agree with them all. It's the conversations that are opening up and what's coming from it. And I'd love people to take a little step back. I often think of, do you remember the picture that you put up from the Olympics? And it was all the cameramen. And it was how the Olympics came from a male perspective and a male point
through
of
the
view.
lens of a male,
I'd love people to just have a little think, about where our media is actually coming from and how much that reflects on how we think about things. Like there was a video came up on TikTok, Instagram, one of them the other day, and it was about our mindset, right? And it was actually about radical feminism. And I was like, not quite sure, like hardcore feminism, but it was about shifting our mindset, right? And how when we think of a CEO, or we're speaking about a CEO of a company, 9 times out of 10 we will automatically go with a he or a him. So why not change that and go, well, where is she from? Or what does she do? Or and change our pronouns and change our thought processes, I suppose, and how we think logically about these things. But I'd love people to just have a little look and a little think. And like, it's not that, like, I mean, there is unbelievable female journalists out there, and they are covering all aspects and all different sides of the industry. And we've started our Queens of Media. We have Megan on last week. I have just finalised who I have on next week, but I'm not going to announce it yet. I think I'm going to fangirl a little bit on this one. I'm not going to lie. But yeah, like, love it. Because she's an amazing lady. But like, it's not that there isn't exceptional female and male journalists out there. It's just the point of view that we take. and how we look at things and how we are absorbing things. Like, I know I
So
talk about.
what I'm going to do, I'm going to read out just a section
Yeah,
from the article that you've written, because I think it really, really kind of sums it up. And then I'm going to bring it back to Equitas and what we are about, and probably some of the questions that we get asked, because
yeah,
I dare say that we are somewhat guilty of this too.
yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
To be really truthful about it. So in the article, Muir says Curtis didn't just train the winner; she out-trained the system. And now we, the media, have a responsibility not to flatten this into a first or a finally. That's lazy storytelling. This isn't about her being a woman. It's about her being a trainer, a fiercely smart, strategically brilliant one who's operated under the radar for far too long. I just think that is just so powerful, and it's so correct, and it's so yeah, it's the way that it should be.
Yeah.
How do you think, twofold, how do you think Equitas can sometimes slip into this, or even from an outsider's perspective be guilty of this, and then what in turn makes us different going forward?
I think probably to answer the first question, we are guilty of this. As much as we want the world to be seen from two perspectives. We want it to come from a female point of view.
Uh-huh.
So we are constantly highlighting from our points of view. So it's really, really hard to get that balance. And I can understand, like, I I'm going to look at it from a female point of view because I'm a
Yeah.
female, and that's the way my brain is wired, and that's what I do. So I am really trying to kind of, I suppose, on a personal note for Equitas, trying to create that balance where it really is, it's more gender neutral. I don't want it to be a male versus female because it doesn't
Yeah,
have to
and I
be.
think we're very clear about that within Equitas. It's not a
Yeah.
male versus female. What we're looking for is go back a step. Go,
Yes.
and you mentioned it in your article, like there's no what did you say? No big boys club, or
Yeah.
what was it? No billionaire backing, no old boys club
Old boys club.
syndicates.
Yeah.
And that is what we are highlighting.
Yeah.
That's what we're highlighting the change for be. So it's the equity that actually gives opportunity for this scenario to take place, for the women to actually be able to do what they're exceptionally good at.
Yeah.
And then the other side of that for Equitas is that we have to highlight when women do this, because invariably they're a minority in a lot of the bigger areas of the industry. And if young girls and young women can't see it, they can't be
Mhm.
it. So
Yeah.
we have to be able to make sure that we celebrate those moments and champion those women when the time comes. But ultimately, we're fighting behind the scenes to raise awareness about how they got there, their journeys, what it looks like, and exactly as you've just done, call it out. It is not luck. It is
No.
fucking hard work and determination and grit and just not going away.
Yeah.
Not
Just
a step
stay
away.
going. Just stay going. And
Yeah.
that is it. Like, I love that I love what we do at Equitas, and I know that we're highlighting and we're showing it. But I also love the fact that we do go back that step. And we want people to know that these are not overnight successes. This is
Yeah.
hours upon hours of hard work, hardship, sometimes exceptionally lonely, without the backing of
Yeah.
your huge owners, your multimillionaires, your syndicates.
Yeah.
These type of wins, be that in your showing, in your eventing, in your racing, whatever it is, they don't happen on the morning of the race. They happen your 6 months beforehand, your 8 months beforehand. They happen when you go to the sales and you look at a gangly, gaudy yearling and go, I see something there.
Yeah.
And you're building and building and building constantly. But if we can't, if as a media brand, if we can't highlight that journey, and if we can't expose people to everything that goes on behind it in an equitable fashion, in a reasonable fashion, that doesn't happen at the minute. There is no other media brand that is taking a step back and going,
It comes back to, like, to solve the problem, you need to know what it is first. And that's why we look further back. We look at where the inequities start, where the gaps arise, and then you're kind of looking to address to see what we can do. And part of even what you said earlier on about having the media through the lens of a woman is so much of that.
Yeah.
You know, if we had more women behind the scenes actually capturing these moments, highlighting these moments and the journeys of them, and seeing the importance of them, then I think it would change people's perspectives. But it was interesting because I was like, when I read the article, I was like, oh, we're guilty of this too. And I was like, but we have a different agenda behind it.
But we know how we're
as
doing
well
it.
as doing everything.
Yeah. We know, and we're owning that with pride. Like what we're going with.
But
It
I
is
absolutely
funny
loved
though,
it.
like for the last couple of months, and somebody said to me the other day, they were talking about me not being very emotional, right? Or the younger me not being very emotional, right? And how I have changed over the years and I've become softer. And I was laughing. I was like, is that an insult? Like, are you being derogatory? Or is that supposed to be an insult? We're like, well, yeah, like you used to be really hardy. He's like, I ain't going to stop you there for one second. This was a good friend of mine. Like, I was like, I'm going to stop you there for a second. So, yeah, I used to be hardy because absolutely everything was stored in here because I did not know how to verbalize it. I couldn't tell you had hurt my feelings or I felt like shit or I couldn't actually say what I wanted to say. So if by being now able to speak my mind and do it in a tone that is probably not going to put up with your bullshit the way it used to put up with it, if that makes me soft, I'm pretty
So
okay with that.
they mistook your silence for hardiness. Wow.
Because I was staunch. Like it was a time where I
Well, it
probably
was your
didn't know me.
defense. It was your method of defense too, I'm sure. Do you know what I
That
mean?
was
Like you
exactly
protect
what it
yourself.
was.
That's how you did it.
I was in a tough yard. You had to be a little bit resilient, and I didn't know how to deal with that. So my go-to was pure silence, stone face, don't react, don't say anything. And like it still fucking hurt, lads. Like, let's clarify. I just
Yeah.
didn't say that it hurt. Like, but it's mad. It's the perceptions of things are crazy. Like, oh, sure, Jesus, we could talk about that for another hour, in fairness. But it is. I think it's definitely it's one of the articles that I am most proud of. But I also hope that it's only the start of a conversation. Like, I
Agreed.
don't want it to be that. And people go, oh, that was great. I'd love it to continue and to build.
Well, it definitely, like, if nothing else, Mara, like, even though, like, we work so close together, like, and I found it so powerful and I found it so, I'm going to use the word inspiring, but it was like, you know, you highlighted an issue and I was like, yeah, Sarah, you need to be careful what you're writing about. You know what I mean? And how you're viewing things too. So, like, you're just raising awareness about people's mindsets when it comes to it. And yeah, I just think more of that, more consistency behind that, and just keep doing
Wait till
what
you
we're
see the
doing.
next one.
Part 2 coming soon.
Part 2 is done. I'm going to send it into the group in the morning to make sure I can get the nod for this one too.
Yeah, no, I'd say go rogue. I wouldn't.
Hear that shit? Sarah's having to go rogue.
Yeah, I gave her permission to go rogue. We'll move on to the next topic, and this is just one that kind of came up to me recently, and it was the myth of having it all. I listened to a podcast recently, and it was the Boss Babe podcast. Do you ever listen to it?
Yeah, it's brilliant.
And I just love how Natalie kind of clarifies things, and she just seems to kind of speak in a way that's very, very, I'm going to call it simple. I don't mean that to be derogatory, but it's just very
but it's very straight,
laid out,
very
clear, concise, and it's just very relatable at the same time. So she was just talking about the priorities. There's a few things she said, like she was like, if everything in your life or in your day is a priority, then nothing is a priority.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, wow. So everything is important to me, but I have to prioritize what's important. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And she just kind of got me thinking about like what, and I'm curious from your perspective too, like, so what in a day is priority? What do you do to protect your time? Like, is there anything that you outsource? Is there anything that you kind of,
So I have, shockingly enough, a slight control issue. Not very good. I know this will come as a surprise, Sarah.
Wow.
Yeah. So what I have been really, really trying to work on lately, like really, and I struggle. This does not come naturally to me. I have to get better at delegating, and I have to get better at going, actually, no, I don't have time to do that. I am very sorry. This is it.
Yeah.
This is my time slots. I have 24 hours in a day. This is what I fill it with. But it's mad. What I've realized over the last couple of months is I work an awful lot better in the mornings. So if I bring my laptop to bed with me, like literally leave it beside the bed, and I wake up, wake up in the morning, right? Before I even step foot out of bed, I will be more productive in that hour that I will obviously have to try and wake up a little bit earlier to get that. But I'll be more productive in that hour than I will be if I get up and I faff about, because I get up and I go, I'll just put on a really quick wash, and then I'll put on the kettle, and then I'll go and feed the chickens, and then I let out the dogs, and then
Your day
and then
started.
and then.
Your day. Yeah.
So if I block all of that and I wake up an hour earlier, I will get so much more done within that hour. So the last, I'd say about 2 weeks, I have been focusing purely on trying to get to bed earlier so I can wake up an hour earlier so I can get that hour in the mornings. Because even if I'm going to Claire's, I have an hour of Equitas work done before I get there. So I know that I can go, right, okay, when I go home now, I can continue with this or move on to the next one or finish that or whatever the case may be. But it also means that I'm like, don't give out to me now, because my mommy gave out to me about this the other day. Yesterday, I was coming back from Kilkenny and I had a pounding headache, and it was, when you can feel it right in the middle, and it was throbbing. I said, why? Like, I am drinking all my water. I went for my walk. Like, why? I didn't feel very stressed. I bought myself a nice new watch. Tells me my heart rate. I was trying to settle everything back down, all the jazz.
We'll go back to the watch in a second. Carry on.
Do you know what I realized, Sarah?
What?
I hadn't fucking eaten. I had forgotten to actually eat. Like, genuinely
just forgot.
Just completely forgot. I was so go and so like, yeah, have all my water, put my cucumber in it. I'm ready to. I had forgotten to actually feed myself.
So one of your priorities should actually be like
to feed myself. Like,
leave your fucking fancy cucumber water aside for a second.
Yeah, cucumber water, you were fucking rare. Like, go get yourself a sandwich, my dear. Like, what on earth? So it's mad. Like the OS system I'm building at the minute, and I know this sounds ridiculous, but it's actually, that's what it is. It's prioritizing my day. So when I get up, I'm going to say half an hour. What can I do to be the most productive that I can be in that half an hour, while also going, all right, Warren, back yourself up for a second here now. You need to mind yourself. You need to mind, like, you have an awful lot going on. So take that couple of minutes. If that means sitting outside with a cup of tea, whatever the case is. So because obviously the days are so busy at the minute, one of the things, and I am refusing to give this up, like actually refusing, is before I go to bed, I am making a cup of tea and I sit in my step outside, just literally 10 minutes on my own with my cup of tea. And I refuse to think about work, stress, the horses, food. I just sit. I actually just sit, because like, and you know this way better than I do, like, life is so busy and there's so much going on, and it's like a constant rat race of
noise.
What's next.
Noise, yeah. It's hard. Is there anything that you is there anything that you outsource? Like, so I think we might have spoken about this before, but like I have a lovely girl that comes in and cleans the house for me once every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And I just, now she was supposed to be here earlier on in the week, and I was like, she obviously with the bank holiday, she wasn't. She's later, but I had to obviously go around and clean. I was like, at the place that I can't live like this. So like, I went around and I cleaned and I got bits and pieces done, and that's fine. But like, and it's not that I don't do that stuff when she's not here. Like, she's only here every 2 weeks, so like, I mean, I obviously have to like keep on top of things when she's not. But it's great just to know that that's a kind of a clean sweep every 2 weeks, and that's probably something that's non-negotiable for me now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it allows me to go off and do something with the girls, or allows me to go off and teach normally. Like, when she's there, I'll make my business to be out of the house. I'll book a lesson in for that time or whatever. And then there's like, what else? Like the online shopping. Like, I get my groceries delivered.
This is something I'm going to have to get into because I hate shopping. I hate it. I just rots me. And who said to me? Somebody said to me,
there are things that are annoying about it. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, you might forget something. You're like, oh, damn it. You know what I mean? And you don't see it.
But I don't mind like running in to pick up something. It's when
exactly. And we usually do a top up kind of, but there are a few things like that I heard somebody saying, like, you know, I haven't what did they say? I haven't relented and got a cleaner, or I haven't sacrificed yet and got a cleaner, but they put it in a bad way, like, do you know what I mean? As if like they were giving up, haven't given up and gotten a cleaner or something, is what they said. And I was like, you're outsourcing. I was like, you're delegating. I was like, that's actually part of running. I'm going to say a business, but I'm also talking about a household and family and a life.
Like, exactly. What if you can do something that makes life easier? How is that given in or given up? I really don't understand that. I don't get it.
Talking to Sean, and I was like, and it's just it kind of stuff like that I listened to kind of percolates in the back of my mind, and I was thinking, and I was like, I asked Sean there a couple of weeks ago if you'd have a look. I have this window. I'm gonna say cleaner, but like, you clean the window and then it just kind of like sucks it all up or whatever. It's like a little vacuum for the window, and it's just a brilliant thing. But it hasn't been working, and I tried to charge it, but I couldn't figure out. There was no light coming on. It was charged. I didn't know if the problem was with the charger or with the thing anyway. So I asked John to have a look for me. And he was like, why are you looking at this? And I was like, have you seen the state of the windows? I was like, and the sun is now shining in them and it's showing up absolutely everything. And then he looks at me like, and he's like, do you realize how pregnant you are? And I was like, well, I just rang somebody and get them to come in. And he's like, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And like, for me to go and get this, because I don't think it can be fixed. I think the battery is gone on it. So I think the cost to replace it might be like €30. I think it was only €40 to buy it. And I think I could get somebody in to do the whole house inside and out for 80. So I was like, should probably just outsource it. You know,
twice a year, every year, without fail, I will get the windows done because.
But you know what it is? I actually don't mind doing it. Like, it's actually
I don't mind doing it.
It's just one of those things that you can outsource, isn't it?
Exactly. I have no issues doing it. And obviously, like, if I look out and one of my windows is really, really manky dirty, I'm going to go out and clean the window. I'm not going to go, oh no, I'm going to wait now 3 months and get that thing cleaned. But like, there's so many little things. I actually reckon one of the best things, and I don't really think it's outsourcing now, really and truly, but probably one of the things that took the most amount of pressure off me this year was not bringing the horses back into the stables. Because they're out and I'm not worried about, geez, I have to go down and I have to feed and I have to muck out and I won't have time to skip out. And how can, you know, all the
those things that are kind of timely, that if you don't do them, like they're not going away, or like you can't going away. Whereas there's a horse waiting to be fed.
Exactly, like they're out, they get fed. I feed them all in the evenings, but I can feed them at 4 o'clock and feed them at 10 o'clock.
Exactly, you have that bit of flexibility within it.
They're not going to, like, they're out and fecking a foot of grass. They're better fed than I am at the minute. Literally. I just realized what I said there. But like,
that wouldn't be hard, Mar.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. But that was definitely one of the things that I agonize, like I hate leaving them out for the winter, and I personalize it so much because I'm going, oh, it's cold now, like it's cold all
Yeah.
evening, and what if, and like I had to literally go, Martin, stop,
Yeah.
just stop. You have 2 Irish drafts that were
Yeah.
bred in it. There's not a bother.
Mine used to always stay out. Always
Like,
stayed out.
why
And I
would
mean, you could see how hardy they were, and they were well rugged and everything. Like you could see how hardy they were.
but this
Um,
was it. Like they have
yeah, they
thrived
always did well.
so much better this winter. So
Yeah,
much better. They are
not the same.
hardy out, like, but it's
Yeah,
definitely something that I had to convince myself, not going to lie,
yeah,
that was the right
yeah,
thing to do. But it has helped. And the other thing is, and I never thought I'd actually get to this point, Fionn now cooks. So there's outsourcing amongst the family count.
yeah.
Because to be fair to him,
100%.
he will now like it's air fryer but like he
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
will he will basically cook a full dinner. So I
Yeah,
can say to him, okay, Fiona, X, Y, and Z is in the fridge. Here's what you do. If you're stuck, obviously ring me. Here's the list of instructions. And we'll come
yeah.
home and he'll have started making dinner.
Wow, I know. It's just it is a lot of those kind of little things that just takes the pressure off. But I just
Yeah,
thought it was a good topic to raise, like the myth of having it all, and it's actually not. It's nobody has it all or is doing it all. It's about prioritizing what's important to you, what
yeah.
you can't outsource, and then implementing tools for protecting
Or
your time.
protecting, yeah. I'd
And I
love
just
to
think that's
know
really
what,
interesting. And I haven't fully probably delved deep into my own situation yet because I only listened to the podcast today.
yeah,
But I would love to just let it percolate for a little while and then be able to kind
and
of say,
then
right,
go. But
yeah.
I'd even love to know, like, what else people are outsourcing. Do you
I
know, like,
know. I kind of
what
feel like, what else could I
I don't, yeah, like,
outsource?
you're definitely missing out on some life hacks here, like
Yeah.
100%. There's
Yeah.
definitely, and if somebody comes back to me and tells me to meal prep one more time, I'm gonna
Okay.
throw a Tupperware container at them. Stop telling me to meal prep.
I've partially kind of outsourced like dinners because like
Oh, yes.
John John does majority of the cooking, like dinner cooking. Obviously, like I'll do breakfast and lunch for the
Yeah,
girls. Well, there are 50 billion thousand snacks throughout the day.
yeah,
But John primarily is the cook in the house.
yeah.
So like he'll come home and he'll do dinner. And we used to get Hello Fresh and now we've stopped. That's in the Christmas we
Oh,
want to
yeah.
clean out the freezer. So but he'll come in and he'll be like, what's for dinner? As in what have we got in the fridge, whatever. And I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I was like, you tell me. And I ended up saying to him, I was like, you need to take on dinner from start to finish. I was like,
Yes.
because
You need to
I need
know, you need to decide.
exactly.
Yeah.
You take responsibility for it, and it's your baby. Now you go
Yes.
do it.
Yeah.
So we did.
I
That was
like
great.
it. That's
Yeah,
an
yeah, yeah.
excellent plan.
Will we move on? And
Yeah.
I was going down through the games that we have here. I thought that was actually a really good one. Um, not the would you rather. We go through the first 5 of these, and it's like most likely to, right? And say whether it's you or
Okay.
me.
Oh, golly.
Or do we because they're not here to defend themselves, include Shane and Tom in this too?
Yes.
For the crack. Right. Most
Definitely.
likely to accidentally send a text to the wrong person.
Oh, me. Oh, I'm
Do you
such a feather
think?
brain. Like,
I've done
yeah.
that a few times now. I've done that really.
Oh,
I've been
yeah.
doing it a few
Like,
times. Like WhatsApp, like unsend or the delete has been golden. Like
yes.
golden.
Yeah.
Best thing ever invented. I think we're probably both guilty of that one. Shane Shane has done several times. Tom, not a hope
Yeah,
would
but
have happened.
Shane is the devil because sometimes Shane does it on purpose
Of course he
and he
does.
doesn't want
He's
you to
just
think he's doing it
strategic.
on
He
purpose,
wants to
but
tell
he
you
can't.
that, but he doesn't want to be the
Yeah.
one to actually tell you that. So
Sorry,
yeah.
Mar. I was putting that in somewhere else. No, you weren't, Shane. Don't be fooling me.
Yeah. Most likely to embarrass themselves at a fancy dinner. I'm gonna say Shane, but I'm
Would
gonna say
she?
that he'd own it.
He would own it.
Yeah.
If it was most likely to drink too much wine and say something they shouldn't, I would go with me. I won't do
I
any madness, but I'm
most
like,
likely to drink Jaeger bombs and still be up is probably me.
that is
Believe it or
Sarah.
not.
That is Sarah right
When
there.
I'm not pregnant. When I'm not pregnant. um right, most likely to get lost in their own, it says neighborhood, but their own area.
Shane couldn't find his way to the shop. God love him. He'll get a taxi there and back, all right. Like,
Oh god. Most
brutal.
likely to trip and fall on a red carpet. I have done this. I
Yeah,
have done this.
have you?
Guilty. Yeah, I have. And it's because like I'm wearing shoes that I don't like normally
Yeah.
wear, and I'm totally like, there's been times where I've literally held on to John for dear life. And like yourself, like if you get called up on stage or you get called up to do
Oh,
something, or even if you just go into the bar like in front of everybody, you're like, oh please
yeah.
just
We all
don't,
look
just
like
don't
Bambi
fall.
and we waddle and like you're going,
Oh,
these shoes are so pretty and so impractical.
yeah.
But I like a pair of
Most
shoes.
likely to get over invested in a reality TV show. What do you think? Are you into reality TV?
Depends on what it is. I
Yeah,
don't. There was
I'm
a
not
yoga
into
came
everything.
on. No, I love Gogglebox because I just find it absolutely hilarious. Like,
I
just
never got into it.
randomly on and off.
I never
But
got
there
into
was a
it.
thing came up the other day, The Naked Truth. And it was like, it was a dating program and they were all naked. And I was like,
Oh,
this
I have heard of that. I've actually no, sorry, I've seen that. I just forgot the name of it. It's
so random.
it's
Like,
awful. It's
just go.
absolutely awful. But it's probably so awful that it makes for good TV. I don't know. I actually don't watch TV anymore. Like I watch like series, or I watch like
You see, I watch
I don't
Netflix.
watch anything. Yeah, no,
Like,
so do I. Like, well, not Netflix, but I watch Criminal
yeah,
Minds.
like,
That's what I watch. Most likely to keep a really strange secret.
oh, Shane.
Well,
Or
I'm gonna say
Tom.
Tom. I'm gonna say
Tom,
Tom. Now, if you
actually.
take out the really strange, Tom would take things to his grave.
I'm
100%.
telling you, that man, I stand beside him anywhere because there is no crack in that bad boy. Fair play to him. Like,
Who would be most likely to start a story and forget the point halfway through?
I see squirrels.
Yeah, but you know what? Them are like, I mean, this pregnancy baby brain is screwing me over as well, because I'm like, I forgot what my point was. I forgot halfway through. I'm like, it'll come back to me in two
Now,
days.
to be fair, I like if you put the three of us in a room together and let us off, the three of us that do it. Depending on what we were like, if it was a
Yeah,
proper
yeah, yeah,
meeting,
yeah.
then no. But like in random conversations, Tom wouldn't because he's uber focused.
Yeah, exactly. Some of these are actually really funny.
I know.
And I don't even know if they apply to us, but some of them are actually hilarious. Most likely to accidentally say something awkward in a serious conversation. I think we're actually all guilty of that, because we're all guilty of going to the inappropriate, aren't we?
We can't even pick one of us for that, in fairness. Like, we would all do it.
No, I love it. I love it. And then most likely to tell a joke that no one else understands.
I'm joking.
So Tom, whenever we're having banter in the group back and forth, Tom will come in and say a joke, and it's funny. We all laugh, and then he'll come in. That was a joke, by the way. And we're like, we know, Tom. We know. But he's like wants to make sure that nobody takes offense. Please cover. So now that was a joke is now a running joke. It's absolutely hilarious. They're actually really, really good. I really like that game.
They're really funny. We should do
We
those ones.
should actually do it with the four of us. We should
Oh,
actually
that would
record
be
it with the four of us. That would be
hilarious.
so funny.
We should
What are
actually do
your
that.
rides and what your right and wrong of the week?
My ride of the week is I would like everybody to cross whatever you cross, to talk to whoever you talk to, but just put the vibes out for Carlo, please. I would
Yeah.
really 100% appreciate
Go, Carlo. Go, Carlo.
some good vibes on that. And my wrong of the week, it was weird PR. I don't get a lot of PR. Ain't my gig,
Okay.
not my thing. Do you know what came in the post the other day?
What?
Hunger killer tablets
Huh?
to reduce my appetite. I
Us.
said, first of all, how did you get my address? Second of all, uh, d- really?
Not the problem I've
Really?
been having.
Like, really? So, yeah, that's my wrong of the week. Don't send me
That's
weird.
so
Send me
weird.
anything you like. I like getting nice things. Just don't send
I
me weird
know,
things.
yeah. Always
Like,
open to a PR package.
yeah.
My ride of the week is that I went for a pedicure this
Oh,
evening.
lovely.
Um, and it's a ride of the week because I enjoy a little bit of
Yeah.
pampering, but I also have had to do it because I'm at the stage of pregnancy where I can no longer bend down and clip my toenails. So there you go. You all needed to know
Oh,
that. I wanted
nearly
to
there.
paint my toes and I couldn't. I can put on my socks because I'm down there for a second and then I'm like, but I can't spend any duration of time. And John was like, I'll do it when I was like, I'm good, thanks. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, go out. Maybe
Yeah.
that's outsourcing. Maybe that's what I've outsourced as well. And then my wrong of the week is my back pain. I think I'm
Oh,
having
no.
like sciatica kind of like
Oh,
pain. So it's just that really, really niggling, annoying. I think purely and simply because I did too much yesterday.
okay.
And I just wasn't paying attention. So I need to prioritize a little bit more exercise in a good
Mm.
way, as in yoga or like when I was actually pregnant with Paige, Louise from Ready to Ride Physio gifted
Oh,
me
yeah.
the is it your antenatal like exercise
Yeah.
to do. So I need to read them out again. I'm trying to remember if I did them with Brie as well, and I think I did, but I need
I
to go
think you
back and
did. I
find
think I
those.
remember us chatting about this.
Yeah, because they're just really, really good. I highly
Yeah.
recommend them, and they're obviously specific to what I need right now. And I'm going to try and avoid going to the physio. I'm going
Mm.
to give this a few days doing right things, and
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
try and avoid the physio, and then see how it
Yeah.
goes. But yeah, so that's my wrong of the week. But I have a plan. So anyway,
Yes.
we're
Good plan.
so
I
right.
like
We
it.
will wrap it up there, Mar. Thank you so much for joining. In such a busy time, and yeah,
It's good busy though.
thankfully we're able to
There
pull it
is
off.
some random comments, lads. So thanks for that.
Yeah, I don't think they're public. I would delete it if you because one of them said I
Yeah.
was high, and I was like, if you want to call that on fact that I'm on Lemsip because I'm actually dosed again, then go ahead. I'm not high. But no, I think they're on YouTube, and I think they
Yeah, I think they
we
are.
have to approve
Hello to
them. So I
everybody
need
though.
to, yeah, hello to
You're all
everybody.
great. Yeah.
Um,
Hello to that.
But yeah, if there's any topics you want us to discuss for next week, please do let us know. We're always open
Yep.
to exploring new topics, whether we talk about them or not is a different story, but because we get some random. But we will definitely have a look into it. But until then, thank you everyone for joining us and talk to you.